And I will call to order the Glendale Redevelopment Agency meeting for September 6, 2011. May we have a roll call for the redevelopment agency, please?
Agency members: Friedman.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Quintero.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Chairman Manukian.
Here. Can we have your report?
The agenda for the September 6, 2011 regular meeting of the Glendale Redevelopment Agency was posted on Thursday, September 1st, 2011 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Next at 4 is minutes for June 28 and August 30, is it? And the joint city council, is there a motion to approve it?
So moved. Second.
With no objections, the minutes will be approved as submitted. What is next? I do have an oral communication card.
Yes, one oral communication card was submitted, and discussion will be limited to items not part of this agenda. Each speaker will be allowed 5 minutes. Members of the Housing Authority may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or decision, and the matter may be referred to staff through the Executive Director for investigation and a report.
How do you know I'm going to call your name first? Mr. Mohill, go ahead.
Thank you, Councilman Manukian. I'm here today to, first of all, a couple of things. Number one, I'm sorry to hear about the pay cuts for council members. I'm on record to saying council members are not paid enough money. Okay? Because I believe there's a lot, those packets are pretty thick. I've read several of them, and they take time to absorb it and ask questions. That's number one. Number two, headline news. Tony Roma's restaurant on Maryland Avenue. I was advised by one of the principals there that they are closing their doors at the end of November. That's right. Sales are down to like $100,000 from $200,000. Does anybody on this agency know that? Does anybody from Mr. No. Well,
I didn't know that.
Didn't know about it.
I knew
Did
that.
anybody here know about it?
I knew that.
Okay, thank you, sir. What are we going to do? Another blank spot in our entertainment district. Now, I've come before this council before and asked about having a card club in this area, a casino. Yes, Councilman Manukian. How many more restaurants do we need to have? Hopefully that new French restaurant will succeed. We'll find out. They put in $500,000, I'm sure, and let's see what happens 12 months from now. That area is dead as a doornail. We need something to liven it up. Maybe a bowling alley would do it with young folks. But in the meantime, I believe they consider a card club entertainment. Ever heard of a place called Las Vegas? Ever heard of a place called the River? Las Vegas was built on gambling and prostitution, where everybody just, oh. I've asked the city, Ron De Palma, if he would check into how safe is having a card club. And he says, I'll look into it, Mike, and that's it. 4 years later, he's looking into it. He needs direction from council members. Isn't that how the program works? What are we going to do? Retail stores are not doing it. There's no movie theater anymore on Maryland Avenue. You could have had a movie theater where the Man Theater is, but instead you decided to tear down a parking lot and put in the Lemley Theater with those apartments. And then we had to pay for a parking structure, which we didn't need to do. We could have had the old Man Theater for Mr. Lemley Theater, but people on council decided that was not the way to go. So what are we going to do now? We have a big spot. We have the movie theater empty. We have the restaurant to be empty. We got thousands of square feet be filled up. We're paying our redevelopment managers hundreds of thousands of dollars to come up with creative ideas. Well, I'm coming up one for free. Can't somebody on the city council direct staff to look into it? Please. What else can we do with that area? It's a dead spot. Movie theaters are not moving in there. And I wonder how Mr. Caruso is going to be doing that at the cross street at the Americana. I understand his numbers are not in either. And he's suffering. And speaking about that, how about the Museum of Neon Art Museum? When is that supposed to go in? I understand it's supposed to go in now in 2012. I thought it was supposed to be going in this year. We gave them millions of dollars. They're supposed to bring in traffic to Glendale. Will they be bringing in traffic, or will they be part of the, well, gee, just as long as I'm over here at the Americana, I'll go over to see Mona and see what that's about. We need some vision. Please, council members, let's think outside of the traditional things of restaurants, retail stores. Retail stores, sales are down. They're not expanding. Perhaps someone can look into a card club, a casino. I know over this last weekend I heard they had record sales at the card clubs, the casinos. And that brings in foot traffic, and people want to eat and shop. Mr. Caruso's putting in a shopping center thing in Las Vegas next to, I read about it in the paper here recently. If he believes in Las Vegas with another shopping mall.
Thank you, Mr. Moyle. You dropped your glasses. The Lemley Theater, what is the status on that? I know that there was...
Redevelopment.
We were in a redevelopment meeting, right?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the redevelopment agency.
With the state issues, what is going to happen with the Lemley? Is that going forward still?
With the state stay on, or I should say the court stay on our activity, we're unable to bring that forward until that issue is resolved. In terms of a Mann Theater, this agency asked the Lemley family, and they explained that that doesn't...
No, I know about that. I just wanted to know whether, because Lemley Theater was a redevelopment project, whether it was going forward or not. I know we received an email regarding that.
Yeah, for additional information, the California Redevelopment Association and League of California Cities has filed a motion seeking clarification of the stay order of the California Supreme Court, which, if granted, would allow those agencies that had previously adopted their opt-in ordinance, which Glendale did very early, to proceed with the redevelopment powers under the theory that under any circumstance where the legislation was held valid or held invalid, those agencies that had opted in would have been able to have operated anyway, and that during the interim there will be irreparable harm done to those agencies that are not allowed to proceed with their projects, Glendale included.
And what is the status of Mona?
Pardon me?
What is the status of Mona at this point?
That is the building being built with the sale.
Is that being delayed?
It is in the same boat as the Lemley project in terms of being able to go forward with a contract. We are in plan check for it.
What do you mean go forward with a contract?
To let a contract actually build the building.
This is for the passageway
Take
work.
the assistance.
Okay.
That's agency activity, and you can't take any actions on much of anything right now in that regard. So
Okay.
it continues to be in the same condition, waiting for either some clarification or a resolution of the litigation.
Okay, thank you. What is next, City? Oh, Mr.
I have a
Chairman.
comment and response with regard to the card club suggestion. I mean, it's my feeling that the concept of a card club would not sit well with the residents of Glendale. However, I've been wrong before. I would invite Mr. Mohill to start a petition drive to actually let us know how many people are interested. Or, in the alternative, because I'm getting a lot of head shaking, those who are supportive of that, please ask them to email me or the council or come to council to speak, because I just don't think there's much support for that. And I think the main issue is, of course, not the revenues, which we would always welcome, are the ancillary crimes that are committed in, near, and about those type of facilities.
Any other comments? No? What is next? We don't have anything else on the agenda. Are
The
there
only
any
other thing is if there's any additional agency member staff comments.
staff comments? Seeing none, can we have a
Move we
motion to
adjourn.
adjourn?
Be adjourned.
We are adjourned.
Second.
All right, wait.
Stay for...
TV goes on.